I'm Annie with the Kinder Ready program, a home visiting program for families with young children, and I'm here today to do a yoga program with you. For today's yoga program, we're going to do a little story about how Hatha Yoga began. Hatha Yoga is the yoga of the positions and the physical movements that most of us think of as yoga. But there's different parts to yoga, and we'll be talking about those in other videos. The first other one that we'll mention is meditation, because that's how we start out today's story. There was a yogi named Raquel who was sitting and meditating. And so when we sit and meditate, we sit in a comfortable seat. So I want you to imagine that you're the yogi. And so you're sitting with your back straight, and your back and your bottom part of your body sinking into the ground, and your front part of your body with your heart and head reaching up toward the sky. And she was sitting and meditating, and her back hurt. And sometimes just meditating would make the back pain go away, but today it just seemed to get worse and worse as she sat and meditated. And as she sat, she was sitting under a tree. So we're going to imagine that we're the tree, and we stand up. And so we want to make sure we ground through one foot and lift the other foot up, and we can keep it down low for balance, or we can put it up higher, and we can be a tree with our arms out wide, giving shade to the yogi Raquel that's sitting at our feet. And as Raquel sat under the tree, she noticed an eagle was in the tree, and she noticed all kinds of other animals out in the forest. So what we do on one side, we need to do on the other. So now while we listen to more story, we're going to ground through our other foot and lift our left foot up, or keep it on the ground for balance. And Raquel saw a lot of animals, and they were all moving around. And she thought, those animals aren't sore. They look like they're doing just fine. Maybe if I move like them, I'll feel better. And just then she saw an eagle up in the tree's branches. And she decided, maybe I can be like an eagle. So for an eagle, we're going to cross our legs. And if you need to keep one on the ground, do that. And then we're going to cross our arms so that our palms face each other. And then we kind of just sit down a little bit, like we're sitting on a tree. And then when we come out of it, we stand up and bring our feet and arms down. And remember which arm is on top and on bottom, because we need to do it to the other side. So we're going to switch our arms and legs and sit down on our other leg like an eagle. And Raquel thought, this feels pretty good. And while she's sitting there like an eagle, she noticed a snake, a cobra. So she thought, maybe I should get down and move like a cobra. So she laid down and put her arms by her shoulders and pressed into the ground with her feet and lifted her head up like a cobra. And comes back down. And she did that once more to look around and see what she could see. And she saw a cat. So she decided to move like the cat. So she got on all fours, keeping her hands and wrists under her shoulders and her knees under her hips, and arched her back like a cat.
come back to tabletop and do that once more. And as she looked around, a lion came out and scared her. And it was roaring. But Raquel thought, if I act like it, maybe it'll calm down. So Raquel roared at the lion. And the lion and Raquel became good friends. And so then they sat down in a field of flowers. And so for this, we want to bring our arms inside our legs and then out. And maybe this is your flower, and that's fine. If you can, lean back and open up. That's the position of flower. And can you smell how pretty? Oh, what a wonderful smell. But then Raquel saw a warrior come out of the forest. And the warrior saw the lion, so he was scared. So we take and do a wide spread and then turn one foot so it's going sideways and the other one faces front. And then we bend our knee and put our arms out and turn our head. And the warrior heard that lion, so he was looking for the lion. And then we're going to look in the other direction, turning our feet and turning our head and bending our one knee and keeping the other one straight. But Raquel said, look, the lion is just laying there. You don't need to hurt it. So the warrior went off, and Raquel sat back down and began to meditate again because she felt much better and her back no longer hurt. And after all that movement, how do you feel? And then at the end, we bring our hands to our heart and say namaste.